Pimp, pimp.
Hey babies, it's Joynavon and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So for today's protective style, you're only going to need a few items, starting with a rat tail comb, a comb for detangling, some hair jam, some hair clips for sectioning, and of course some braiding hair. So this is the hair that I used. It's by Outre and it's from their Braid Babe line, and I got the color 30. So this hair is pre-stretched, and I needed pre-stretched hair because I absolutely hate having to stretch braiding hair. And yeah, so I'm just starting out by parting my hair down the middle because I wanted to make sure that I was going to have a middle part. I feel like most of the time when people have knotless braids, they do have middle parts, but that's completely up to your preference. And this is where the hair jam comes in handy because it really helps to perfect your parts for you. And being that knotless braids are so exposed to the scalp, like your scalp is going to be very, very exposed. You want to make sure that your parts are as straight as you can get it. So also too, I did blow my hair out for this. I would highly suggest that you would, prep your hair for a protective style the same way that you naturally would, but you also blow your hair out because it just makes life so much easier. It makes the process so much simpler for you to work with. So before I show you guys in detail how I did the braids, I really wanted to focus a lot on my parting and just how I got this look to come all together, period, because this was my very first time doing knotless braids. I have never done them before. I scoured YouTube for, knotless braids tutorials before I started doing this, and I will link some down below that helped me out. But yeah, I really found that watching them do their parts was the part that I needed the most, because the feed in braid part was helpful, but I really needed help with parting. So yeah. Now I'm starting from the back. This, I would highly suggest you part or section your hair off first. So as you can see, I did the bottom row first, and I'm using my hair jam to help slick my hair down as I'm sectioning it off. I really wanted to kind of try out the brick layering method of parting. And yeah, I don't know. I tried my best. My boxes that I'm sectioning off also are medium size. I didn't want them to be too big, and I definitely didn't want them to be too small. So definitely keep in mind your, desired size when doing this. The bigger that your boxes are, the more hair you're going to have to use, and the, lesser time it'll take you to actually braid. The smaller, it'll be the opposite. So the smaller your boxes are, the less hair that you'll have to use, and the longer it's going to take you to complete all of your hair. So like I said, I will come back and show you guys in detail how I actually start the braids out and everything, but I wanted to move on to the side of my head after I finished the first bottom row of braids, because I don't know, being that I was doing medium-sized boxes, I just felt like I wanted to make sure everything was going to line up with the side of my hair and not just have perfectly straight rows towards the back. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I was trying to do. That was my thought process throughout this. But I would highly, I'm going to repeat this, I would highly suggest that you section your hair off first. Do all of your boxes and parting and everything first, because it is going to help you out so much. Like I always say, do as I say, not as I do. And this is definitely one of those moments where I'm going to tell you, please section your hair off. It'll make this process go by so much faster for you. So as you can see, this is this side of my head currently, and I'm showing you guys now that I did actually go back and section off all of the back of my head. When I tell you, after I did this and I just used the clips that I showed you guys earlier to keep all of the parts in place, listen. This made time fly by after this. I was literally on a roll after this. I'm not going to lie. Doing these sections parts did take me about an hour to do, but all in all, doing all of my hair took me just one day. Like it literally took me, I don't know exactly how many hours it took me to do my hair, but I did start around noon and I did take breaks, like I said, so I wasn't really counting, but I did finish that night. So for me, it didn't relatively take me that long, especially when I'm used to doing certain protective styles that will have me going days at a time. Like I'll do half of my head one day and then another half another day. This was not one of those types of styles. Depending on the size that you're trying to do, you can definitely accomplish this in one day. So this is what my hair is looking like, and I only used 3.5 packs for my entire head. So keep that in mind. These are packs that have 3 different like bundles of braiding hair. So I used 3 of those and a half of another one. So I would say, to be safe, if you're going to follow the same exact size of boxes and braids, I would say get at least 4 packs. I will link the exact hair that I used down below. I did just pick this hair up from samsbeauty.com. It came relatively fast and I didn't have any issues with shipping or anything. So now we're on the last section of my hair and I'm slowing things down a bit so you guys can really see what I'm doing. So I did like the rest of my head and made sure that my parts were straight and sectioned off my boxes. After that, I went ahead and added some hair jam just to really make sure that my parts and my boxes were going to be clean and neat and straight and slick and all of that. Hair jam is an absolute lifesaver, especially if you have kinky or textured hair that is stubborn when it comes to laying down. I would highly suggest you using some type of hair jam. So starting off, again, you want to make sure that you're braiding your natural hair down first. And once you get down into a comfortable position, you want to grab some hair. So I pre-sectioned all of the hair out before, adding them into my hair from each pack, just so that it was easy for me to grab. I decided to use one of these little stands to help section the hair off and hold the hair while I was braiding. You can get them from Amazon. I'll link one down below. It's really helpful. So moving on, I'm just going to continue to braid the rest of my hair and really break down for you guys the very front. But if you've been paying attention this whole time, I'm pretty sure you probably picked up on the whole technique already. Again, you just want to make sure that your hair is straight. I was trying to make sure that my hair was lined up with the other side because I'm just very extra like that. My hair did not come out perfect or anything by any means, but I feel like it was a good first attempt. Like, I'm very proud of myself. I didn't think that I would be able to pull this off, which is why I feel like I'm like the last person in the world to try knotless braids, but I am overall happy with how they turned out. I'm definitely hoping that I'll be able to wear them for about 3 weeks. So once your box is good to go and you've added your hair jam, you want to pull your hair apart into 3 sections to start your braid, just as you would with any braid, and braid your hair down about 2 or 3 times if you're using a color, I would say. And if you're not, you can braid down a little bit more, maybe like 4 or 5 times. But you want to add your hair in small sections. I used about 5 different sections for each braid to get the length that I got. But you want to grab a section and you want to attach it to one piece of hair, and it's going to connect to 2 sections of hair. It's hard to explain, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you again. So now again, I'm taking 3 sections of hair to braid as you would usually braid. And then I'm going to braid down 2 or 3 times and grab a section of hair. So holding these pieces individually, I'm going to take it and attach it and loop it over. So now the piece of hair that's free, I'm just going to continue to braid that down and wait until I've gotten to the free section. So now that I have a free piece, I'm going to grab another section of hair and attach that and loop it over. So I'm attaching it underneath and looping it over and then braiding down. It's a lot easier for you once you're actually in the process of doing it. You'll kind of find your own groove of doing a feed-in braid. But for me, this is just what was working. This is just what's easier for me. I am right-handed, so I feel like that's another reason why this way of doing it was helpful for me, especially being that I was doing my own hair and not doing like a client's head or something like that. I feel like a lot of tutorials on YouTube, especially those that I have seen, are shot from the perspective of a hairstylist. And when doing your own hair, your technique might be different depending on the type of braider you are, how you grab the hair, position your arms and your hands, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to do a style. And that is it, you guys. This is how my hair turned out. I absolutely love it. I love the color. It's giving like full-blown honey brown ginger vibes. I love it so much. Again, if I could do this, you could definitely do this. Do not psych yourself out. Just give yourself some time, and I'm sure you can work it out. This is how long my hair turned out. It's about like right underneath my butt, and I did dip these braids off camera. I did not show you guys that because I just did not feel comfortable. Like, I didn't want to burn myself. But just make sure that you dip your braids without dipping your natural hair. Stop before you get to your natural hair and you'll be fine. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at joynavon for more hairstyles if you want to keep up with me. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for lots more hair videos. Give this video a big thumbs up if it was helpful for you. And until then, I will just see you guys in my next video. Bye.